Crypto can be a gamble. We all know that. It can be a complete roller coaster at times. If you're up, why not throw some profits on mybookie.ag and use your extra cryptocurrency in their casino? With live dealers, it's exactly like being in Vegas, but without all the smoke and noise. From blackjack, roulette, baccarat, slots, sports betting, props on entertainment and politics, all the way to esports like League of Legends and Counter-Strike. Not to mention, you can play all of their games on your cell phone, iPad, or tablet computer. It's entirely up to you. You can literally play from anywhere. It's like being in Las Vegas on your couch. MyBookie.ag also offers deposits on their website with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. And payouts are incredibly fast and totally anonymous with cryptocurrencies. Check them out at mybookie.ag and be sure to use the promo code CryptoStreet for a 50% bonus when you deposit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's go.
Round one, fight.
Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Street Podcast. Here are your hosts, Killer Whale, Prince, and Crypto Dale.
And remember to tip your waitress.
Welcome, everybody. Another episode of Crypto Street Pod. We are recording this on Tuesday, the 9th of July. I believe it's the 9th, maybe the 10th even at this point. Anyway, okay. You guys will be listening to this episode probably on Thursday or Friday of this week, a couple days after we record. Anyway, good to be here, as usual, with my buddy Prince. Prince, how you doing, bro?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm just glued to the Bitcoin chart right now and trying to record an episode here. So, trying to catch the dumps. Knife catching is always good. It's always good.
We are once again not joined by our friend and compatriot Dale, who, Dale, we love you, but Dale is allegedly on a very good baseball run with his team, and they keep winning unexpectectly,
Allegedly.
which is why he can't make the episodes. Yeah, could be a running ruse. I don't know.
He's just
some of us
avoiding
think-
everyone now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dale just wanted a summer break.
Bear market
from the
gets to some
podcast.
people.
Yeah, totally. So Dale's playing right now, again, allegedly. So I hope he gets destroyed so that he's at least back on the next episode.
Good friends.
Prince, how
We're
you
good
doing,
friends.
bro? What are you thinking of the markets? How's life been?
What am I thinking? So, yeah, I was saying, I've been knife catching a bit today here, and I'm glued to the MEX chart. I went knife catching about 62.95 on this recent dump. So we'll see if we get a little pop up around 6,400 or so, maybe 65. But we'll see. Stops are set, got to watch it. It's volatile right now. But I think people are a little too doom and gloomish. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if everybody is convinced we're going to go down,
Yeah.
maybe we don't go down because the market's not going to be that cooperative usually. I don't know. Anyway, our two guests for today, better than one. We have Javier from Crypto CoinCon, of which we will be attending in August, and Dan from Windfall Mining and Zell Cash. Welcome, fellas. How you guys doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having us on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So Javier, I guess we'll start off with you real quick. Javier helps run Crypto CoinCon, which, like I said, we're going to be happy to attend in August. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, definitely check that out. We'll give you all the information to get there as well. But Javier, just give us your backstory, your kind of journey in crypto, how you ended up doing what you're doing at this point.
So I guess it's pretty similar to most people. I had a friend, of course. Everyone always has that friend, who drags them in, right? But my friends actually they're helping me run it, Crypto CoinCon. Jason and my buddy John. So they were in it in like 2015. And they were telling me, "Hey, get in, whatever." And then I fixed John's computer once, and he gave me $10 in Bitcoin, and I just saw it go up, kept on going up. Then it was up to like $1,000. I was like, I'm not getting in. It's too high, Then it went up and it went up. So finally, last year, about mid last year, I was like, all right, you know what, I'm getting. But I'm the type of guy who, when I get in, I get in. So that's my problem on most of the stuff that I do. So I ended up buying. I have like I ended up buying ASIC, and I like to diversify. So I bought ASIC miners, so I wanted to get in the mining space. I bought, of course, crypto, and then I started trading a little bit too. So that's sort of my beginnings, and that's how I got in.
when did you guys spawn the idea for Crypto CoinCon, or how did you get involved with that? What was the kind of the genesis block, I guess, of the conference?
So I blame John. So no, John, he came up with the idea, and a couple other guys. We had on a Discord. We were on Discord, and they were like, we really wanted to bring. They started having these conferences that were like aimed towards the big wigs, the big money. We were like, I want to have something for the normal guy. The people that they can pay a couple bucks to come to, and that's sort of like where it came out. And then we just started talking about it. We found a space, and then we went with it,
For sure. Dan, let's talk a little bit about your background. Maybe talk about Windfall mining a little bit, Zell Cash, and some other projects you've been working on, if anything.
Sure. So, yeah, and I know Jay from, we call him Jay, from kind of the beginning of this as well. So I was in kind of on the ground level, and that's how I ended up reaching out to you guys. Because first of all, I want to say this is like one of my, I'm like a crypto fanboy here. So this was on my bucket list. So I can die a happy man now. So mine my first Bitcoin, make my first 10X, and make it to Crypto Street. Man, like I can just, I'm a happy camper. So
congrats, my friend.
I've been in the space for a few years. So I think every good story begins with kind of hold my beer situation. So I was reading a lot about emerging technologies, and my day side work. I'm a chief information officer, so I'm looking at all these emerging technologies. And I started reading about Bitcoin, and went out for a beer with my buddy, and spent about 45 minutes to an hour trying to pitch him, for us to get into crypto. And he just kind of sat there and ignored me, and drank his beer, and we finished up, paid the tab. Rolled out, and I didn't hear from him for like 3 days, and all of a sudden he shows up on my doorstep, and he says, "Let's do this shit." So that's kind of how Windfall Mining was born. So we like the whole bright and shiny tech thing, so we started mining, and we actually built our first rigs. GPUs were fairly affordable at that particular point in time. We built our first rigs here at my house, and it was like 195 degrees in the basement, and my wife was like losing her mind. There's like the paint's peeling off the walls. It's like, all right, this isn't gonna work, guys. We got to figure something out. So she didn't divorce me, and we went looking for our first place that we and our goal was we wanted to develop a cryptocurrency mine, and we're all GPU based. We're no ASICs, but we wanted it to be real, and we wanted to give a face to cryptocurrency. We wanted to say, if you want to come visit us, you can see a mine, you can feel it. So that's kind of how Windfall came to be. So we moved into our first place. Guess about a year and a half ago or so. We affectionately refer to it as the shithole, because it was absolutely that and then some. And so then we were there for like 3 months, and we outgrew it. It was like 200 degrees in there. It was ridiculous. It was like a microwave, man. And so then what we did is we decided, we started, and there's like no book for this stuff. Like you it's not like there's no manual where you go just do this stuff. Yeah. So that's it, man. And so we started watching YouTube videos and watching Genesis Mining and what they've done with their Hive project, and we said, hey man, we want to do that. So we call it Titan. We built Titan off kind of the specs that we found online from Genesis, and it kind of, if you go to our website, you'll see some of our stuff there. But the hardest part is electric to power what we need, and luckily where we're at, we have a nuclear reactor like literally 40 minutes away, so we got cheap power. Jeez. Which is great. So, and that's kind of how we got into it. We wanted to make sure that as we started seeing the space develop, we saw that South Carolina ruled that Genesis mining contracts, cloud mining contracts, were securities. And we said, look, we're not doing the cloud mining thing. We're not getting into that. But what we started doing is we started doing co-location mining. So, and actually, Dale, who's not here, actually has a rig in Windfall. So
yeah,
he's
he was
actually
telling me about that.
Just YouTube, right?
Yeah. He's pretty pumped, man. He's doing some spec mining on coins, and he's kicking ass. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty awesome. So, but basically, what we want to do with colo mining is it's your rig, and you mine straight to your wallet. We don't settle in crypto. We settle in cash. It just goes. You know, it's just like a normal. If you got your server hosted or something like that. So, we do help out with the guidance, and we pick particular projects that are early on, and we tell our people, hey, we think this will be a very solid project, and then of course they can choose what they want to mine. So yeah, and that in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do, and it's really an awesome scenario. We know a lot of people in the space and have developed a lot of relationships in the space because we're doing stuff like this.
It's very cool to feel like you're at the ground floor of a new emergent technology and industry, right? And I'm sure that you guys felt like very much like that, especially 2 or 3 years ago when you were kind of getting this thing off the ground, and it was way more speculative than it even is now.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like there was so many times I just wanted to pack it up and just not do it anymore. I mean, it was really like because there is no manual to this stuff, and it is so emerging. And I mean, people ask me all the time, they're like, well, how early are we in this? And I'm like, we are not even, if we're in a baseball game, we haven't even made it to the stadium yet. It's just, things are just going to continue to keep developing rapidly. But yeah, being that ground level like that and building it from the ground up has been, now it's exciting because everybody else is upset because they're like, oh, the market's down. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing that could happen in the world, man. I'm telling you, build more rigs, mine, do these things, right? We're in accumulation zones now, man. Let's just fill our bags.
See, I love hearing this because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, the miners right now, like they're just getting hit and they got to be suffering. And so getting you on, I was interested, to see how, maybe the market was playing even for you guys, and, hearing you, it's, let's get more, let's keep going, right? This is the opportunity here. And so that's good to hear. I like that.
So, I often tell people this, and even Dale, when I was talking to Dale about building his rig, I said, look, ROI goes out the window, guys. There's a point in time where you'll be mining at a loss, and that's okay. That's okay. Because, if you could go back in time and mine Bitcoin with your computer, imagine what that would have been like. And that's some of these projects that are early on in their infancy. We have the ability to mine these things and fill up our bags that will be our next 10x, our next 20x, whatever the scenario is when the pump comes. So,
how did you guys decide what to mine in the beginning?
All right. Well, we went to the basic staples because we wanted to. So our core philosophy is we love the decentralization of cryptocurrency, and that's what it comes down to. We're all a little bit libertarian at heart. I think we look at things, and we really like that decentralization aspect of it. So that's why we picked GPU over ASIC. And honestly, I've had people ask me, they said, would you do it if you did it over? Would you do ASICs? And I wouldn't. I would stick with GPUs. I think it is the most natural form of decentralization that you can have. And there's a lot of projects in the space now that are working toward that decentralization of that aspect. So, yeah, I mean, it was more of, you don't go to the, what to mine or something like that. We look at the projects themselves. If we just wanted to turn a profit and just pay the bills, we could do that. But I think it was more about looking at these speculative coins, these long-term. Not So Fast was on here. He said, he talked a little bit about spec coins as well. And that's the key was for us is to not get wild and get into the hype scenario. We want to look long-term, and that's what's good about this market now is we're kind of killing it with fire a little bit because there was a lot of projects that shouldn't have been that were. And I think this is shaking out some of the really solid ones.
Yeah, certainly true. If there's a silver lining, it's that you have to go back to basics when the market's bad because everyone does well in a raging bull market.
Yeah, I'm curious. So, like, when you were setting up, because obviously, you're running a larger scale operation, what were some of the, key struggles that you encountered when kind of working to set it up, other than, just actually, figuring out how to set up the miners? Apart from that, were there any kind of more notable issues that you had to encounter?
Oh, for God's sakes, yes. I would highly recommend nobody do this if you want to keep any hair on your head or anything like that. But um, I think the biggest challenge and the one that is always a struggle is sourcing your power, and there's a reason why you see a lot of these cryptocurrency mines in China and Canada and Washington State, Greenland, maybe Iceland,
Yeah.
and the other big challenge is HVAC. These things will. It's amazing how hot they are. The other day we had a little heat snap and it was 120 some degrees standing in there. It was insanely hot. And part of that is you can't build for that. You can't scale for that.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out. So luckily we've been very blessed because we have people that know specific items that we tapped into. So we went out and found an HVAC guy who had done industrial HVAC for cellular towers. So he cooled these cellular towers, and we brought him in and we said, can you help us cool this place? And he brought his heat gun out and scanned the place, and it was like glowing red. We were like, all right, well, this is bad news. But yeah, and then, I mean, just part of that's just, making sure you got enough power. We have enough to run about 936 rigs where we're at. So we've got plenty of capacity and continue to kind of keep growing. So
yeah, for anybody who hasn't heard of it, definitely check out windfallmining.com. Really a cool service and a service that's really needed, I think, because like we hear it so often, and it's been true of us as well, where one of the main barriers to entry is that this stuff's just too hard. It's too complicated. And I think that's still true of crypto in general. Everything, not just mining. I think masternodes are too tough to set up in general. Navigating a wallet is too tough in general. You see projects all the time that they launch, and the only kind of interface they have for the user is a command line interface client, if anything, and it's like, yeah, all you, computer techie people get that, but the vast majority of average Joe
I'm looking at a command line like, what the hell am I supposed to do here?
Exactly. Yeah, you feel like you need programming experience. So I think you guys are doing a good thing.
I'm a developer by trade, so don't kill us, all right?
I had to be careful because we have a lot of very smart techie listeners too. we asked, I think we had a poll on Twitter one time about like, would you guys mind if we talk a little bit more sports during episodes? And overwhelmingly, it was like, no. Like that's the worst part of any show. I was like, whoa, okay. Sorry.
Well, we missed the weather forecast this time, so that was the next best thing. So,
That's true.
Well, it's been raining out today, so raining and thunder. So
the weather's very polarizing. Either people are like, "Oh, it's the funniest part of every show," or people are like, "Why do you guys do a weather update?" Like,
that's the best part is you either get it or you don't.
Yeah. So I guess Dan, talk a little bit more about the other project you have going on that you're an advisor to, which is Zell Cash.
Yeah. So I don't advise. So I'm honestly, this Windfall is kind of my baby, and then Zell Cash is kind of my baby too. So I don't have multiple projects that I advise on. I advise on one, and then of course I work with my team to develop Windfall. But Zell Cash is actually a fairly unique project in the sense that one, it was created by a 16-year-old, which is absolutely fantastic and amazing because this guy is like I call him the Vitalik that eats, because he's like he's very intelligent, he's very quick-witted. It's a good project. So the ultimate goal of Zell Cash was to create again a decentralized environment. It is a privacy-based coin. It's ZK Snark privacy coin. But what we're looking to do is create an onboarding process for people. So you astutely gave an observation earlier about the fact that there is no, some of these wallets are command line, and it's a yucky interface. And if you're a trader and you've went out and tried to use a DEX, that's DEX don't work like they're really supposed to, and can be challenging. So Zell Cash was created to help enable the Zelltrez platform. So Zelltrez is the wallet. If you haven't downloaded, I suggest you check it out. It's zelltrez.io. And it's a multi-asset platform. So it has Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, Bitcoin Z, Ravencoin, Zell Cash. We're getting ready to add Bitcore. So and they're all in one nicely placed interface. And the cool thing about it is they function. So this is where the techie piece comes into play. So you want to be techie, but you don't want to be too techie. So you can run it in light node, which is fairly, just if you want to make transactions, or you can run it in full node and you can help support the network. So that's kind of unique because you're not going to find that in some of these other apps or these other wallets out there. The technology behind it is paramount. So.
When are you adding a Bitcoin private there, Dan? Huh?
That's a good question. Tell them to give us a call.
Hey, they're coming. I will.
Oh, that's right. They're going to be at the conference. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Tim, one of the guys who work with Bitcoin private, he's an admin. He actually lives in Philly, so there's a couple of them coming out, so it should be fun. Yeah. I would love to do like a multi-coin meetup all at once. Like I'm all about crypto peace, so I would love to have like I hate that people hate. I don't like you. I don't like you. I mean, I'm all about crypto peace, so I would love to have like a nice.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny? It's like nobody likes anything except whichever project they're most invested in.
Yeah.
I found like if I invest in a project and I go to, it's like a new project, and I go to their subreddit, I go to their chat rooms, whether it be Telegram, Riot, Discord, whatever it may be, like. These communities have all like deluded themselves, I think, into thinking that they have the absolute best project and everybody else sucks. All their competitors suck, and like they have the best community, the strongest community. It's just really funny to see like how tribal it gets really quickly.
Very tribal.
I will share something with you because that's a good observation. But I will tell you something that all the projects can unite on, and I'll share some insight. When they decided the Z9s were coming out for Bitmain, decided the Z9s were, and if you haven't checked their Twitter today, check it out. The Z9, they had the Z9 Mini. Today they released the Z9 Max, which we knew that was coming. So, one thing that each one of these projects immediately acknowledged, and there actually is a group called the ASIC Resistance, and it is the lead devs from every single project that's Equihash or out there. So you have, Bitcoin private, you have Zencash, you have Zell Cash, you have, all these safe coins, all these projects that are actually working together to really start to advance the technology and also put the focus on the decentralization of their cryptos. So the majority of these projects have already made either an algorithm switch, or they forked completely. So it's nice to see everybody come together because it was really weird because it was kind of like a high school dance when everybody's kind of standing around on the wall. We were all looking at each other for a while, and it's like who's going to make the first jump into the center, and we did, and we started talking. The next thing you're getting people from all these projects saying, okay, well, we can do this and we can do this and we can work together on this, and it was pretty amazing actually. So I think there is some tribalism. But I think there is, for us, at least in the space, we want to make sure we develop this technology, and that means sometimes we have to work together.
Dan, did you read that article from, I think it's the head of Sia Coin Mining? He had like a big article on Medium or something that was making the rounds like within the past couple months.
So my feedback on that is I did read that, and so I don't know and I'm going to give everybody a homework assignment. I want you to go out and read about Prague POW and some of the pieces that kind of they're looking to really honestly look at using more parts of the GPU, which will address some of these issues. But Yeah, I mean, if you read that, that was a very bleak picture of what ASICs are going to do to the GPU mining world. But the reality of it is I think it's kind of the exact opposite. I think the GPU folks are fired up and they're ready to make new technology. So yeah, check that out. And I mean, that was a really solid piece, well written. Prog POW by oh God, I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me.
It was such an interesting article for me, like knowing very little about mining, just to see how competitive and cutthroat it is. And I guess I should have known, right? But it's still eye-opening.
Yeah, and it is too, especially when you have some fairly significant players in the space like Bitmain. That I'm no fan of Bitmain, and I believe some of the things they do are pretty nefarious in terms of their hardware. But the reality of it is until if we're going to be content with that, and I don't believe anybody in cryptocurrency is content with that situation, we better start developing other technologies. And Oh God, a Girl is who actually wrote that Prog POW piece, and it talks about really where we want to see the GPU mining world go. And I think for decentralization, I don't necessarily know you'll ever get rid of ASICs completely, and I think it'll be a cat and mouse game. And if you even want to get deeper, you start talking about FPGAs. But yeah, I think it's going to be continued iteration, continue changing here in this space. And if you want to mine in this space, you better be ready to sell everything you got and move to the next version of technology.
For sure. Javier, let's circle back to you for a little bit here. Let's talk a little bit more about Crypto CoinCon. Maybe tell the listeners about that, what's coming up, some special events, guests, all that sort of good stuff.
My dog's going nuts over here.
It's all right.
Actually,
yeah, not the first time.
Funny thing, I have a Shiba Inu though. So like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Yeah.
Doge.
Except he's a black Shiba Inu though. So
sorry. Sometimes we'll be doing a recording and I have a cat and he'll just stroll on in and he'll get real loud and annoying. Yeah, these guys will be busy trying not to cry out laughing when we're doing an interview.
We'll just hear like
I got everything you could think of. I got a cat that lives in the basement, right? Because the dogs end up like attacking it. So then I got 2 dogs. Like it's just like I got a kid up there. Like you know what I mean? Like, whatever you got, I got it. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, but so like actually Dan coined a pretty cool phrase. He called it the anti-consensus, like our show, because I basically up to this point, crypto has been built on the back of retail investors, right? Yet all these conferences don't make it feasible and affordable for these retail investors to make it to the conference. Who has $1,000, $1,500, $3,000 to make it to a conference and then there's another dog. But who has that to spend? You'd rather put it in crypto, right?
And just for a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
For a ticket. And then even with consensus this year, they were most of the vendors were in the basement,
Well, yeah, and like from what I heard, like there was a lot of people who were like, I can't believe I just spent that much money on a ticket for this, because all it was, I guess, is just a lot of ICOs pitching everybody they could see, and it was like, oh, okay, well, there were guys saying, yeah, you don't even need to buy tickets. There's more action going on just out at the bars of the hotel across the street. It's like,
and that's exactly. And you bring a good point about the ICOs. We've been approached by most of the people that wanted to, be vendors for us were ICOs, and we're paying this all out of pocket. Whatever we make, hopefully it pays for some of it. But these are enthusiasts. Like we're in the space. We want to get the word out there. We want other people to learn about this, right? So we said no to all these ICOs. Yeah. We only want established coins, people, coins that we trust, that we believe in, to come to this and be sponsors if they're going to be sponsors. We don't want new people to come in and, someone pull a Varjaver on them, you know what I mean? And they think they're buying Bitcoin and they're getting Bitcoin Edge, So that's sort of where we're at.
That's really good. Like, I gotta say thank you for, I guess, having the mind to do that and, operate in this way, because it's like, I've talked to a number of people who, they're out in consensus and they're just like, for what it was, never again, because, you know, it was just, you're getting pretty much attacked by, you know, people pitching ICOs just nonstop. And, you know, and like you said, yeah. And, yeah. And, you know, for somebody who doesn't really know the space, you know what? There's going to be, I guarantee you, one smooth talking salesman who's going to somehow get money out of them. And maybe, you know, who knows? Because getting a booth set up at a lot of these things, it's just, you know, throw down some money. It's not like there's a lot of, you know, back info that goes into it, and, you know, verification, all this stuff. So you don't know if it's a
that's exactly how we felt. We wanted to throw it for, like, if we were throwing it for our friends or our family, you know, we wanted to make sure that people are going to come out, they're going to get information, you know, so it's information for new people. It's also information for people who have been in the space for a while. We have Tim Burker coming out, who's, you know, Dan's worked with him. He's an attorney who's going to talk about, you know, ICOs. He's going to talk about, you know, different stuff from a legal perspective. We have a tax advisor coming out to help people who's already been, you know, we've already been through the round of, you know, having to pay taxes and having to, you know, so he's going to help us out, you know, with that.
What are those?
We have you know, we have you guys. So we have you guys, I'm super excited about, so people get to see your faces, unless you're going to wear masks. I don't know.
We thought about it.
Wouldn't that be a sight, eh?
Even at your
guys
table
up
too.
there wearing masks the whole day.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, 100%.
Listen, I will pay you guys if you guys do that.
You better be careful what you wish for.
Luchador masks, those ones with the eyes, you know. And I want to.
Dale will be taking that up pretty quick. He'll be jumping on that.
I want to expand on just a couple things that Jay said there, especially about, you know, we're actually going to have a mining rig there mining, that people can come up and they can watch and they can see the process of how mining rigs put together. We're going to actually, I actually did a conference up in Philadelphia, and that was the very first time we had thought about it. We actually built a show rig to take along with us, and it just runs off these little 1050 Ti's, you know, just enough to, you know, mine, and people can feel the heat coming off of it and they can experience it, you know. So it's those are the kind of things that, you know, this is the way a conference should be. It should be a bunch of guys and gals that come together and they want to experience what we experience, the excitement, right? For
the community.
That's exactly what we want. We want people who've been in the space for a while, you know, the old school guys, to, you know, meet the new people and mentor them or talk to them. We have a couple of meetups that are coming, you know, that we just want to introduce the local folks to, you know, and just tell people who are from out of town also to look up their local meetups. You know, that's how you get to introduce things and get to, you know, meet other people.
And that's like really what the staying power from crypto is going to come from, and has already come from, is the community. You know, you get a bunch of people together where we're like, look, you know, we know this is going to be something. We're not entirely sure what that final form is going to be exactly right now, but we know there's something here. And it creates a bond. You know, I'm sure Prince and I can attest to this, or Prince can attest to this as well. It's just, that's been part of the beauty of being in crypto, is just meeting all these other cool people that are really, really smart and really driven and ambitious. And attending a conference allows you to do that and kind of accelerate that, you know, because you could form a relationship with somebody over the internet for sure, 100%. But you're going to do that way more quickly if you're in person, you're talking face to face, you're meeting over a beer, what have you. And so, and that's one of the most valuable things about crypto, is just the networking. You know, you're still so new in this that you can meet some really cool, really important, really influential people really quickly. And like very easily, you know, because it's still a pretty small world.
I mean, where else can you go? Like, you know, the whole crypto Twitter thing, you can have people that you look up to, or, you know, I'll give you for example, this was an exciting moment for me, right? So I'm a huge Zell Cash fan as well. So, and you know, I really followed what Zoku had done, and, you know, one day I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know, I'm just going to send this guy a message and ask him a question. And where else can you send somebody a message and they immediately respond back to you with an answer, right? Because they're trying to build those relationships. And I was like, oh my God, Zoku just like totally just DM'd me. You know, I'm like taking pictures of it and like sending it to my buddies, and I'm like, yeah.
And it's like, you get a guy of that
But-
stature, say, in the corporate world or something, and you're never going to get a DM back. Of
course
You know
not.
what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Never.
Dude,
That's yeah.
you won't get through to his secretary.
Form letter. You get a
Not to
form
mention
email.
him. She's not going to answer your call.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think that's really cool.
It's a joke.
No, honestly, that was like the exciting part of hearing you guys' podcast for the first time. Is it was a bunch of normal guys that were sitting around, and of course I loved Power Hour. That was, I love that. But just the normal guys that are sitting around talking about this and learning and educating themselves and sharing information and sharing stories. And I think that's what's so special about the crypto space is I believe that everybody's here for different reasons. So whether you're mining or you're investing or you're trading, whatever the scenario is, you're building these awesome relationships. And I think that's kind of the cool part. And I think that's where this conference really comes into play.
Yeah.
Just normal people. We're just all there to
And
learn.
that's, it's the relationships that last, because at the end of the day, I think, we're all in the same boat. We don't really know where crypto is going to go. Right. We're just in this, it's kind of still, it's like, it's getting bigger, but it's still this kind of crazy experiment. Right. But so, wherever it goes, we know that we have these relationships going forward and, they're not just going to die out. Right. And so it's kind of cool what crypto's been able to do.
And people need to do that before, while you still can do that, because crypto's not going to be this small forever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think when we started, let's take Ari Paul, for example. He had maybe, when we first got into crypto, he had like 20,000 followers, maybe, which is like a lot of followers, but it's like still perfectly accessible. I mean, now he's got like 120 or something. And pretty soon, I'm sure that's going to be, next bull run, that's going to be 200,000, 300,000. And the accessibility is going to decrease just because you can't answer everything.
Well, and not just that, but, he's an individual that, he's in the, he comes from the legacy markets. He deals with a very large amount of investor capital. And, he was okay coming on the show. Like, how many other markets are you going to be able to find someone in that
geeking
position
out
who's
when
gonna
he
come
agreed to be
podcast,
on. Yeah,
right?
we were like, really? Like,
None. Yeah.
same thing with Roger Ver. Like, we had Roger Ver on like our first few episodes. We were like, what? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Not like tooting our own horn at all. We just got lucky, It's just,
Yeah, and I actually went back to listen to that episode and tried to see how many times you almost said Bcash.
more than you know.
Yeah, it's tough. It was tough.
I met one of my good friends now, George. He was at a Pivx meetup, and now we're kind of working together on projects. We, text each other and give information. I mean, and then some people I don't even know on Telegram. We're talking like I'm on this crypto pub, and like we're always talking and you just learn. You learn.
Yeah.
I don't believe in technical analysis because I don't know how that crap works. And then somebody will tell me about it. And I'm like, oh crap, maybe they're all right. So and try it. I learned. It's a good interchange.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always got to be trying to learn in this space too. And I think that's the thing. You develop these relationships with different individuals and. To me, I'm excited. I got to meet more of these folks that I'm friends with and I talk with every day. I've never met anyone from crypto in person yet. I haven't, So I'm really looking forward to Philly because this is going to be my first go at meeting, a bunch of crypto people in person. And so,
I'm just going to wear a Prince shirt. So I'll be like, yo, what right here.
There we go.
We should just all pretend to be Prince. Just all wear a shirt.
Yeah. Should do it. See, all four of us will just Prince.
It's me, Prince from Canada.
Trying to figure out who the real Prince is.
Real cool day up here today, but got some good hockey in, and I'm sorry about. I don't have any more details, but
poutine. Yeah, boot.
Sorry, that was a little offensive maybe to some people, but oh well. I'll get over it.
Don't worry, you'll be able to
accept
talk Philly accent
okay.
when you get down here. So don't worry.
That's right.
Hey yo,
some accents are yeah, very yo dog Dog, I had the best Philly cheesesteak the other day. You wouldn't believe it. Absolute quality. I'm getting worse.
Bra.
I quit.
Bra. Hey, bra.
I know. Dale isn't here, but I just want to say that there's a lot of people that want to beat him in GoldenEye. So we got to do something to make this happen.
It's true.
There has to be somewhere that has one of those. Where can we go?
I think Dale's bringing one.
I think I have one in my attic.
I think he's bringing an N64. We had like an internal debate. Like, if you had to play one video game against other people to save your life, like any video game ever, what would it be? And that was Dale's, was GoldenEye. He's like, only one other person in history has ever beaten me at this game, guys. Like, you don't get it. It's like, all right. Jeez, how many people are you playing? You didn't have the internet when that thing was out. Are you playing your buddies?
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
like 3D
Dale, you're just playing against the computer.
Bad though,
Oh, dude, I tried to, have you guys ever gone and like
terrible.
tried to play a game that you know you loved at one point in time, and then you start it up and you're like, oh my God, this is such a piece of shit. I just, like, I can't even look at this.
God, yeah.
Shrek 2 on PS2. I wore that game out, and I went back to it like a few years ago.
Shrek 2?
Just plugged it in.
Dude.
Yeah, Shrek 2, man.
Prince is a youngin'.
It was,
but
that
this
thing
is
was
quite-
lit, okay? I was a youngin' back then, but yeah. So I went back and I plugged that thing in, and I'm looking at it, and I was shaking my head. It's like, how the hell did I enjoy this?
God.
How did I play this? What was I on? Like, this is ridiculous.
I must
But,
be
games have
old, man,
changed.
because I'm remembering back to like Pole Position and Atari games.
Pong. Those were the days.
Oh, so yeah, that's way before me in my days.
I built a retro arcade. My buddy Jason, he's one of the guys that are co-founders. He helped me build a retro arcade. So we have like Sega on there. We have Nintendo on there. We have like all these. I was playing Shinobi the other day. I was terrible.
Got the works.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, my version of that is if anybody's familiar with the game Perfect Dark on N64, it's like a shooter.
Oh.
It was sort of like GoldenEye on steroids, like a bunch of other options, better graphics, whatever. Really good game, Perfect Dark was. I loved it at the time when I was younger. I went back and tried to play it like a couple of years back, and just like, you can't even stomach it. The graphics are so bad. It's like, nostalgia only goes so far, I think.
Yeah, so true.
I do remember that.
Anyway, fellas, I think we're going to just about wrap this up, unless you guys have anything else to add or anything else you guys want to chat about.
We should get out where we can find more info on Windfall and on Crypto
Yes,
CoinCon.
tell everybody everything
Where
about
can I
everything.
find you guys?
Yeah.
So windfallmining.com is Windfall, and we will build custom rigs, and we can co-locate them there as well. So reach out to us and hit us up. Also, would like everybody to check out zelltrez.io and Zell Cash. Great new project. If you're looking for something to spec mine and something that has a lot of potential, go check them out. Zell.cash.
Of course, CryptoCoinCon.com. You can go there and check out our lineup. We haven't added a couple of the speakers that are there. I'm just a procrastinator, so I will eventually get to that because I'm doing a website too. And also, you can get a discount code. Do you mind if I share your guys' discount code there?
Yeah, sure.
No, do
Yeah,
it.
it's Crypto Street 45, and you will get tickets for $45. And we would love to have all your crazy fans and even the non-crazy fans come out and and
Preferably the non-crazy ones, right?
and you can follow us on Twitter too, just CryptoCoinCon. And sometimes I randomly start tweeting about dumb stuff, so I apologize.
Hey, I do too, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Sweet. We really appreciate you having guys on. This was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
Lots of laughs. It was a good time for us. So we hope you guys had a good time as well.
We really do appreciate having us on, and super excited to have you guys come out. And maybe we can have like a reveal of your faces. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
A big red tape event or something.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, really do appreciate you having us on. It like I said, made my bucket list.
Awesome.
It was an awesome episode, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, guys.
Listeners, thank you guys. Guys and gals, have a wonderful weekend. You'll probably hear this on Thursday or Friday. So take care. We'll see you next week. Hopefully back with our buddy Dale. But either way, make it out to the conference in August. We'll see you there. If not, peace.